Hello and welcome to Barely Contained, the podcast that delves into the new golden age of show business journalism on the information superhighway. I'm Matt Withers, and as ever, I'm joined by Chris Beckett to audit some intrepid celebrity dispatches, including Carol Vorderman's sideboob galore, Cardi B's scandalous tease, West Kardashian's love riddle, and Andrea McLean's huge fart confession. Let's jump in. Well, hello there, Chris.
Hi, Matt.
How are you doing?
Yeah, pretty good, thanks.
Good. And glad to see that I can hear you at full pulsating volume.
You have let me out of the cellar.
Yeah, one or two people noticed that you sounded like a small man in a box last week, and that was because the setting on the microphone wasn't correct. It wasn't like the producers of Question Time did to Diane Abbott, allegedly turning her microphone down.
Nothing that sinister.
It wasn't the deep state. Well, while you're here, would you be interested in maybe taking a look at some online celebrity journalism?
Well, yes. Only if you've got something written by Julie Turley, though.
What? Get out of town! We do have something by Julie Turley of the Daily Star Online, and she's written a phenomenal piece of reportage here, headlined "Countdown's Carol Vorderman flaunts side boob galore in plunging dress."
Now, when did Countdown's Carol Vorderman cease being Countdown's Carol Vorderman?
Yeah. And also, was Side Boob Galore the poorly received sequel to Whiskey Galore?
Yeah.
It was
they just showed up way too early.
It was a very controversial film at the time. Okay, so this goes on. Carol Vorderman has never failed to impress since her sizzling Countdown transformation back in 2000. Despite presenting on Countdown since 1982, in the year 2000, Carol Vorderman revealed a surprise sizzling transformation after splitting from her husband, Patrick King.
In the year 2000?
In the year 2000.
Looking back, in the future.
Making the most of her womanly curves in many figure-hugging ensembles on Countdown, and sporting a more modern haircut and makeup look, she caused quite a storm. Do you remember the storm of the year 2000?
Well, I didn't want to say anything at the time, but I did wonder if Vorderman was to blame.
Yeah, I mean, I look back on the year 2000, and I think, it wasn't about the launch of the Euro for me. It's about that time that Carol Vorderman started dressing a bit differently on Countdown.
Yeah, that's it.
She even went on to win Rear of the Year a few years later in 2007.
7 years later, Julie. 7 years.
Exactly 7 years later.
7 years of amp.
Now, in a sizzling, unearthed throwback snap from a couple of years after her transformation,
whoa,
we can certainly see why the brunette bombshell has cemented her sex symbol status in the hearts of the nation forever.
Now, I feel I need to interject here. This word unearthed. It's this suggestion that there's this stash of things buried in a kind of Blue Peter garden, this time capsule with bottles of Tab Clear and Atari links, maybe pictures of Carol Vorderman trying to break the, at that time, painfully slow dial-up internet with a new vampish look.
It does suggest, it even begins now, this paragraph, as if it suggests that something has happened, as opposed to the picture editor finding an old picture of Carol Vorderman.
Have you got the CD-ROMs, Barry?
Well, she certainly cemented her sex symbol status in the hearts of the nation forever.
You've got unearthed and cemented as well. It feels like Julie's normal stories might not be showbiz. They might be more about kind of people digging in the garden.
I think she's just joined the paper from her job on Production Weekly.
Yeah.
At the sizzling age of 42 at the time, the Bedford-born babe proved age is just a number in her red-hot photo shoot. The sizzling age of 42.
I'm looking forward to the 4-2.
I don't know. I just feel I'm going to wake up when 42 and I don't just feel sizzling. Sizzling!
You can't help it.
Posing up a storm, well, I mean, it's,
Drink.
Yeah. Sitting on a designer white chair, the former newspaper columnist turned seductress as she flashed a sultry stare at the photographer.
Everything in that paragraph, from designer white chair to former newspaper columnist turned seductress, all beautifully ratcheting up the word count.
Yeah. It makes it sound like she's full-time.
Yeah.
What are you up to? You still a newspaper columnist, Carol? Oh, no, I jacked in the newspaper column game. I'm a seductress now, a full-time seductress.
How's that caper working for you?
Yeah, it's all right. I'm working for MI6. It's a honey trap. Evidently, the newly body-confident mathematician was no longer afraid to flaunt her sexy side. Going braless, Vorderman dared to bear in a white dress that was slashed devilishly past her navel. Drawing extra attention to her best assets, she showed a set out glamorous pearls that outlined her gaping wide neckline.
Whoa.
Oh, God, and nothing sexier than a gaping wide neckline.
So big you could park a bus in it.
Flashing flesh aplenty, the MBE awarded celebrity turned up the heat in her backless evening dress.
The MBE awarded celebrity. Actually, I don't know who to blame more here, Julie or the person editing Julie.
I think nobody was editing Julie. I think this was gone straight from brain to keyboard to the World Wide Web. Showing off her new beauty look, she let her volumised, blow-dried lax fall loosely around her shoulders. I presume that should be locks.
Lax.
Lax.
Get those lax.
Oh, what's your new girlfriend like? Yeah, gaping wide neckline.
Those lax.
Oozing complete retro style from the noughties, the mum of two highlighted her eyes with a slick of eyeliner, a splash of mascara, and bright red berry lips.
Literally from the dawn of the noughties.
Oh, God, so long ago. And then, just before moving on to the next bit, there's a the related articles here, and there's a link to story headline: Carol Vorderman unleashes world-famous curves in tighter-than-skin gown. No. Now, Carol Vorderman is not world-famous. Carol Vorderman does not make heads turn on the Avenue of the Americas.
True. It's good, though, that we've seen it so often now that we're just letting tighter-than-skin go.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine that her clothes are literally tighter than skin. I'm taking umbrage with the fact that, she's not going to be at the Oscars. No one in Vietnam knows who Carol Vorderman is.
True.
Since then, Carol has never looked back at her geek chic countdown days, ramping up the sex appeal wherever she goes.
She don't care.
Wherever she goes, Chris, she's just ramping up the sex appeal. She's at the supermarket, ramping up the sex appeal. She's at the fire station. I don't know why she'd be at a fire station, but she'd be at the fire station, just ramping the sex appeal up. This comes shortly after the maths whiz revealed her new blonde bombshell locks to her 391,000 followers on Twitter.
No doubt that'll be a story in 2038.
In a throwback tweet. Showing she is not afraid of a crude joke or innuendo, she captioned the image, "Going blonder. Thank you, junior hair beauty, for shagging me up." Turning sexy secretary, she looked over her sexy specs wearing a flattering, figure-hugging dress.
Wow.
And that is the end of that story.
That was painful yet poignant.
Right, Chris, I believe you've also been looking at the Daily Star online.
I have, Matt, and I've picked out a story about very much the Carol Vorderman du jour, Cardi B. I have to say, I don't really know who Cardi B is, but it is what I call my substitute cardigan. Yes, I was going to say it's not short for cardigan, so you've ruined it now. I'll just get on with it. Cardi B sparks outrage with, in quotes, vulgar oral sex post.
Not a vulgar oral sex post. I don't mind an aesthetic oral sex pose, or even a kind of chaste oral sex pose. But the vulgar ones for me, Chris, they're a no-no.
They let themselves down. Cardi B has released another eye-popping video clip on Instagram. Cardi B never fails to shock, but over the last few weeks we have seen her take her antics to new heights as she stripped out of her bottoms to let her privates breathe and was slammed for a disgusting clip caressing herself.
Right. I don't know what to make of that.
You ever like to just let your privates breathe?
No.
No? How about a disgusting clip of caressing yourself? Any of them? No?
No.
Oh, well.
I just, You're
not living your best life.
It's all right. it's okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I think you're living a good life, but not your best life.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Should we all be letting our privates breathe? I mean, I can imagine that could cause some consternation on the train to Waterloo.
I mean, it'll avoid, yeast infections, I guess. I don't know what the benefits are. I mean, we don't have a medical degree between us.
But you're from a medical family, aren't you?
But
get your dad on the phone.
Yeah. I'll get him to tweet in. So, it didn't really come as much of a surprise when today she released her next scandalous tease. The 26-year-old has teamed up with Bruno Mars to release a new knockout single called Please Me. With a title that speaks for itself, the lyrics are every bit as explicit as you'd expect from Cardi.
I don't know what to expect from her because, as we already established, I'm not quite sure who she is.
Does the title really speak for itself in any particular way that a title doesn't? I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't make a great deal of sense.
Oh, it's quite ambiguous, isn't it? It could be, I'll have a cup of tea and a biscuit.
Yeah, it's like please me.
Please, yeah, famously recorded by Carol Vorderman. Promoting the single on Instagram for her 40.8 million followers.
That's phenomenal, isn't it?
Yeah, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Well, I don't really do Instagram.
You don't really do 2019. That's what you don't really do.
I do have an Instagram account, but I don't use it.
Okay, well, that's great.
Yeah, that was a good piece of information, wasn't it?
She followed suit with an extremely provocative video clip. Ramping up the sex appeal, the I Like It singer put on a very steamy display.
I Like It is a title that kind of speaks for itself, doesn't it?
It really does. And ramping up the sex appeal once more. Stretching out on her knees while sitting on the sofa, you could be mistaken for thinking that you'd caught the bombshell in a privately leaked video. Flashing flesh aplenty, the mum of one pulsated her body in a tiny gold top and sassy Moschino tracksuit bottoms embellished with gold chains.
I'm not sure that you can pulsate your body. I think to pulsate is an intransitive verb.
It doesn't sound very attractive. I mean, everything about this story is supposed to be saying this lady is a, sex symbol, the very sort of Zsa Zsa Gabor of her day. And, yeah, I'm not really getting anything kind of sexy from her pulsating to her letting her privates breathe to... nothing speaks for itself in this story, really.
No, it's not doing a great deal for me.
Grinding and sticking her tongue out at the camera, the New York-born lass couldn't have been more suggestive.
The New York-born lass. I imagine that's very much how she refers to herself.
I mean, it's like they're trying to make her as British as kind of Lancashire hot pot. Explaining all to her viewers, Cardi introduced the piece by captioning the post in a set of words too X-rated to read out, and signing off the piece with a mention of the single, Thotiana mix with a little bit of Please Me. Turning heads, the bold gal attracted more than 13 million views for her saucy performance. Unsurprisingly, many took to her comment section to discuss the shocker.
Yeah, 30 million. That seems quite a lot. It would have been routine for Morecambe and Wise.
Well, exactly. One slammed her, "Grow up, Cardi, you are a mother and certainly not a role model." A second joked, "Who came here just to read the controversies?" Another complained, Cardi, I love you, girl, but there's a huge difference between a big personality and just plain vulgarity. A third declared... Hang on, that's the fourth. That's wrong. A third declared it's the fourth. This H star is a porn star, not a rapper. All the attention not enough for you? Question mark. While a fifth, stood up for Cardi. All these haters on here, you hate her so much, but you still can't just click the unfollow. Another backed her up with, you're all scared of a woman with power. One finalised with, let Cardi be herself and not be controlled by some random people on the internet. Didn't your mum teach you that if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all?
Yep, my mum did teach me that.
Yeah.
She also used to say, she's the cat's mother.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but if I ever used the word she, she'd pull me up on it and say, she's the cat's mother.
Fair enough.
Not hugely pertinent to the story in hand, but...
I like it, though. It's a little bit of, it's a personal touch. We're connecting.
Yeah, I think I might see if I can start reintroducing that into common parlance. She's the cat's mother.
She is the cat's mother. Right, Matt. Bit of a change of pace now. We're looking at some even younger stars.
Yeah, there's an awful lot to unpack in this one. This is from the Mail Online by Brian Gallagher, and it's headlined, Kim Kardashian denies that 5-year-old daughter North has a boyfriend already after rapper Consequence's son Caden Mills calls her his boo.
Have you ever called anyone your boo?
No. Have you?
No.
I'll tell you what I do say, though, Chris. I say she's the cat's mother.
You do well, yeah.
Kim Kardashian made it bluntly clear that her 5-year-old daughter, Northwest, does not have a boyfriend, despite various reports.
She's really being grilled on this, isn't she?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be very difficult to avoid the reports about Northwest's boyfriend. While leaving the Hollywood Beauty Awards with Chris Appleton... Already there's a lot of names in here people I've never heard of. So, while leaving the Hollywood Beauty Awards with Chris Appleton on Sunday night, the 38-year-old reality star was asked if it was too soon for Northwest to have a boyfriend, referring to 7-year-old Caden Mills, the son of rapper Consequence.
So, I'm going to guess you've got one out of 4.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who Chris Appleton is. Northwest, that's the kid. Caden Mills is also a kid. Consequence?
No.
You familiar with Consequence's back catalogue?
I'm not.
No. She doesn't have a boyfriend. Like, is that for real? She's 5, Kardashian said.
Yeah, I think even she's embarrassed by this story.
Yeah, even the 5-year-old's embarrassed by this story. The supposed boyfriend in question was 7-year-old Caden Mills, the son of rapper Consequence, who used to be on Good Music, the label created by North's father, Kanye West. Mills, who has over 52,000 followers on Instagram, has been pictured with Kanye and Kim Kardashian and was giving North some shout-outs earlier this month.
This is the 7-year-old boy giving shout-outs.
So Mills, who is 7, but has 52,000 followers on Instagram, so he has been giving the 5-year-old some shout-outs.
Okay, well, that's how you rack up the followers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what it means by a shout-out. That's what people do on, like, commercial radio, isn't it?
Well, isn't it what Dave Pearce used to do on Radio 1?
Oh, the Gap-Tooth Gypsy.
yeah.
Gap-Tooth Gypsy Dave Pearce.
Someone would be out on a night out in, I don't know, Shrewsbury. They demand a shout-out.
And he would give them the shout-out. Yeah. So that's what's going on here. Shout out to Northie, baby girl, I'll see you soon, Mills said, with 3 face throwing a kiss emojis in a post from February the 6th. That same day, Mills posted a photo of him holding a box with a gold pendant necklace, stating, "She's gonna love it. Wrap that up, sir. I'll take it."
Now, I think these kids are going way too fast. Call me a prude, but... Slow. Hold your horses, Caden.
Yeah, I mean, he's only 7. You know what I thought of girls when I was 7?
They smelled.
I thought, girls are rubbish, throw them in the frying pan.
What?
That was a song that people sang at primary school.
Okay.
Obviously, I didn't literally do that. I certainly wasn't posting pictures on Instagram with a gold pendant necklace, not least because it was many, many years before the popular photo sharing app was developed.
True, and if anyone was going to get a gold pendant necklace from Matt Withers, it was going to be Matt Withers.
I didn't really wear gold pendant necklaces at that point in my life, or indeed now. While he didn't state specifically that it was for North, he posted a photo on so we're really analysing these prepubescent children here.
Hang on, I've run it by the lawyers, it's all right.
He posted a photo on February the 9th with his arm around North, which he captioned, "Booed up." That's BOO''D, booed up.
Okay, fair enough.
Caden even celebrated the 15th anniversary of Kanye West's album College Dropout, which he described as the first album that North's dad and my dad worked on together.
Yeah, when he was minus 8 years old.
And that's also a very prosaic description, isn't it? I mean, that's presumably...
He's obviously listened to it.
It's straight off Wikipedia. Yeah. He also posted a photo with his arms around both North and Kardashian's 3-year-old son, Saint West, stating, "North, Saint and I had the best time on our play date at Exploratorium. It was so much fun."
Sounds like it was. Sounds like it was.
Caden's last post was on Valentine's Day, where he posted a snap of himself holding a heart-shaped box of candy and a small blue bag, captioned, "Love is in the air." While Caden didn't specify who these gifts were for, it seems possible they could have been for North.
It seems possible.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, you're getting into the field of conjecture here as to for whom this 7-year-old had the box of candy, or indeed sweets, as we'd say in this country.
It seems possible that someone might read this and mistake it for journalism.
Yeah, and it doesn't actually seem possible, does it? Aside from her comments leaving the Hollywood Beauty Awards on Sunday night, Kim Kardashian hasn't commented further, nor has Kanye West.
That's it, keep your own counsel.
Consequences not yet commented on the... You could read this out like it's actually, the Radio 4 News. Consequences not yet commented on the situation either, and it isn't known if Caden's Instagram, with its 52,000 followers, is controlled by his parents or the 7-year-old himself.
I think it is known, really, who's running the show.
Yeah, we all know who's pulling the strings here. Regardless, those who have been worried that Northwest is far too young to have a boyfriend can rest a little easier after Kim Kardashian's comments.
Don't have nightmares.
Oh, I feel I can kind of get on with life now.
I actually do have nightmares.
I feel my concerns have been assuaged because it really was beginning to weigh heavily upon me. Finally, Chris, I believe that you have unearthed a pretty major story about Andrea McLean off of the Loose Women.
Yes, I have. Right, this one is by Samuel McManus of the Daily Star. Headline, "Loose Women's Andrea McLean leaves panel reeling with mid-viewing fart." Stop sniggering.
I fear this is going to be a groundbreaking piece of journalism.
This is very much an amuse-bouche coming at the ends.
Can I stick my neck out and say that rather than it being the result of months of painstaking investigation, it is the result of somebody watching today's Loose Women and reporting verbatim what was said in it?
We'll see if you're right. Andrea McLean left her Loose Women co-stars gobsmacked during Monday's episode.
Why, today is Monday at the time of recording, Chris. They've turned this story around quickly, haven't they?
I know, it's amazing. Andrea McLean left Loose Women panellists and viewers alike in utter shock as she dropped a huge fart confession. The 49-year-old was joined on Monday's panel by Gabrielle, 48, Denise Welsh, 60, and Jane Moore, 56. Very much the golden lineup of LW. As the panel discussed their most embarrassing moments, Andrea let her blow-off secret slip.
Oh dear.
Following a discussion of how Gabrielle fell over on stage last year.
That must have been quite the discussion.
Did you fall off stage? Yeah, I did. Was the eye patch all right? Yeah, it was okay. Andrea made the brave decision to announce the embarrassing moment.
Oh, so brave.
She told her fellow panellists, "This is when I was a student and we were in our 3rd year and we were going around viewing a house. I could feel a bottom pop coming."
So brave. So brave
What a trooper.
to tell her story.
"I thought, I don't want to do this here with everybody, so I stepped out discreetly into the hall. Oh my God, it was the loudest noise you have ever heard. It was so loud."
Literally the loudest noise she's ever heard.
I mean, bear in mind that at least one other member of the panel has played to crowds of hundreds of thousands.
Was that Jade Moore?
Yeah. On the topic of embarrassing moments, Denise revealed how she showed herself up in front of politician Ed Miliband. She said, "I was invited to go to the House of Commons for a pre-Pride of Britain thing. I was with Carol Vorderman."
The world famous Carol Vorderman.
Exactly. During her vampy era. "We hadn't seen each other for ages, so we were chatting, and at one point this guy came in and he was looking over and waved. It was the guy who used to do my fillers, and I hadn't had anything done for ages." Demonstrating how she made weird faces at the man and pulled her skin about in front of him, she continued, "I said, 'That's the guy who did my fillers. He's looking really weirdly at me.' Carol said, 'That's because it's Ed Miliband.'" Loose Women airs weekdays at 12:30pm on ITV.
Yep, absolutely tune in for more brave confessions.
I think we can safely say that's the real Labour Party story from this week, though.
Yes, absolutely.
Ed
Yeah.
Miliband mistaken for someone who did Denise Welsh's fillers.
Oh, Ed Miliband. That's a blast from the past, isn't it? Remember Ed Miliband?
I do, yeah. Yeah, that bacon sandwich.
Yeah, different world.
Yeah.
Hey, I think we should probably stop now, Chris, because I just feel we've done enough.
I think, leave them wanting more, or if not more, then...
Then definitely less.
Definitely less.
Definitely leave them wanting less. So thank you very much for allowing me into your home to talk about online celebrity journalism.
It's been a pleasure. You took your shoes off.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I it's Pavlovian now.
Yeah.
I don't need to be told anymore.
Yeah, I had to wipe the drool off, but it's all right.
Well, if you want any more barely contained hashtag content, you can find us on Twitter at
barely_pod.
You can find us on Facebook. We have a presence there, which you intermittently maintain, don't you?
I think intermittent is probably fair, yeah.
And you can't find us on Instagram, as I've already...
No, you could probably find Matt's dormant account.
Yeah, there's not a great deal on there, I'm afraid. And of course, you can find us on anywhere that you can hear podcasts, which includes Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts and Audio Boom, and now Spotify. Ooh. And we'll see you whenever we get round to doing this again.
Hopefully sooner, I think. I think next one, it'll come round again.
Yeah.
You'll be listening to us again before you know it.
Yeah, you just keep, if you subscribe, it'll just pop onto your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And, if you do get the opportunity in the next couple of weeks, use the phrase, "she's the cat's mother."
Yeah. I'm off to let my privates breathe.
Yes, and I'm not. Bye.
Bye.